Hello, and welcome to this fifth and final video in the Shot Viz tutorial. Sorry. Um, yeah, we are actually almost done now. We just need to add a bit of information. So first of all, you can download this Excel workbook in the description under the video, just as you could with the other videos. So let's just jump right to it. In the last one, we finished our shot plots, so that's as it is. So we just need to fill out a bit of information, and then we'll finish the final touches on the graphic and design as well. But let's just get to it. So the first thing we need to look up is the Corsi differential. So you can do that using the SUMIFs function. So we'll just say SUMIFs. And in the last video, we created these columns, so we can just sum all the courses. Now, for some reason, it's not referencing the table column, so we'll just need to change this. So this is table 2, and square brackets course. So now we are referencing the table column. So we want to sum this whenever the condition is 1 and the on ice is 1. So we'll just say table condition needs to be 1 and table square brackets the on ice needs to be 1. This means that the selected player is on the ice. And finally, we need to look up if the shooting team is Pittsburgh. So it's Corsi 4. So we'll just say table 2 team needs to be Pittsburgh. So what this calculates is it calculates Corsi 4. It calculates how many shot attempts were I forgot to say that on ice had to be 1. So now it should work. So we can see here that while Gian Marino is on the ice, Pittsburgh has taken 16 shots at even strength. So if you count these, it should add up to 16. But we're interested in the differential, so I'll just copy this. This is easier. So we need to subtract all the shot attempts when Pittsburgh is not the shooting team. So we'll just change this to not Pittsburgh. And now we have the differential. Corsi 4 minus Corsi against. So there should be 15 red dots here. Don't want to count them. And we'll just do the same with shots and goals. So we'll just change Corsi to shot, enter, and goals. So if we look up goals, it should be 1 more goal for Pittsburgh than Tampa Bay, and we see that +1. Okay, so that's those 3. So we need to do the same for some individual stats, and the principle is the same. We'll just use the SUMIFs function. And now we want to count how many goals Marino has scored. So we'll just use this one. So we'll just again write in table 2. Oh, something's wrong. Table 2 goal, and the criteria needs to be that the condition is met. So we'll just say table 2 condition, and the final one is table 2 individual. So this means that it's a shot taken by John Marino that goes in. And I forgot to say it has to be 1. So the condition has to be 1. So this just means that we're counting we're summing how many goals has occurred when the conditions are met and John Marino is the shooter. So that should add up to how many goals has he scored. And that was 0. So we could look at Danton Heinen, who we saw in an earlier video that he scored a goal, and we see that there. Okay, so I'll just copy this and put it over here because it's the exact same thing. Now, instead of counting goals, we're counting courses. So this is the total amount of shot attempts. And we see 4 shot attempts, 4. Okay, assists is a bit different because here we need to look up 2 different places. So we'll just use the countifs function, and what we'll count is the A1 column, meaning the primary assist has to be equal to the number of the player. So we'll just say table 2 A1 has to be equal to the number of the player, and also the conditions still need to be met. So table 2 condition has to be 1. Okay, so this was the primary assists. Obviously, we need to add the secondary assist as well. So now we'll just use the countifs function on A2. So basically what I've done is I've looked where does this number equal the number of the selected player, plus where does this number equal the selected player. So we can see 77 has a goal. I think that's Carter, yeah. So we'll see that he has an assist. So that's fine. And finally, we'll need to calculate a few on-ice metrics, but the idea is pretty much the same. So we'll just use the SUMIFs function. So SUMIFs. Now we need to calculate Corsi. So we'll just say table 2 Corsi if the condition is met and on ice is met, and Pittsburgh is the shooting team. So we'll just add those conditions. Needs to be 1, and on ice needs to be 1, and the team needs to be Pittsburgh. So this calculates the Corsi 4. We actually calculated the same over here. This should be the same formula. So how do you calculate Corsi 4 percentage? You just take Corsi 4 divided by the total Corsi. So it would be Corsi 4 divided by Corsi 4 plus Corsi against. So we can just copy this and divide Corsi 4 plus Corsi against. So Corsi against we'll just look up whenever Pittsburgh is not the shooting team. So this should be what we want. And it's at 50%, meaning you can see that here as well. The differential is 0, meaning it should be 50%. So we'll just make this into a percentage. And I'll just make the numbers here a bit smaller. Okay. So that's it. Now, in case there's no on-ice shots, it will make an error because then you'll be dividing by 0 and you can't do that. So in that case, if there's an error, then we'll just put the Corsi 4 percentage to 50%. So that's just how we define it. If no team has any shots, then the Corsi 4 percentage should be 50%. It's not something you would see often anyway. We can do the same for shots for and goals for. We just need to change the Corsi to shot, Corsi to shot, and Corsi to shot. And the same with the goals for. We just need to change this to goals. Hit the wrong button. Goal. Goal. And the last one. Goal. Okay. So here we have the on-ice metrics, Corsi 4 percentage, shots 4 percentage, goals 4 percentage. The last things we need to look up is the on-ice shooting percentage and the on-ice save percentage. But that's, again, relatively easy to look up. We could just copy this SUMIFs function. So so this sums all the goals where the conditions are met, and the selected player, in this case Jeff Carter, is on the ice, and Pittsburgh is the shooting teams. So we need to divide that by the number of shots, and we need to add an equal sign. So this has to be shots. So it's just goals divided by shots. On ice goals for divided by on ice shots for. Yep. And we would like this one to be a percentage as well. Okay. And then the on ice save percentage is just 1 minus goals divided by shots, but it needs to be goals by the opposing team, so it needs to be not Pittsburgh. And shots by not Pittsburgh. So in this case, there were no goals against, so the save percentage would naturally be 100%. And then the last thing is we could just calculate the GDO, it's just the sum of the two. And we don't want that as a percentage, we can put that as a number. So that's all the calculations in the Shot Viz, and now all that's left to do is just to maybe change the colors a bit. So I like to make the background white. So we'll just do this, and then we could color all the boxes, for instance. Of course, you could do whatever you'd like here. So you can color this in a blue shade. So yeah, now the Shot Viz is starting to look really nice. The only thing left to do is to look up the opponent, and we can do that using the XLOOKUP function. So we'll just look up the date, and we'll look that up in this sheet. Oh, and we need to change this to table 1, date. And what we want to return is we want to return the game. So it's table 1, game. And if it's not found, we'll just leave it empty. So just increase this a bit, make it fat. So now whenever you choose a date, it will look up the game row here to find this information. Now if you choose all, it would just be empty because you can't find it. But I think that's it for this shot visualization tool. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you could follow along. There were some complex things going on at times, but for the most part, it's not as difficult as you may think. So, lastly, I would just like to say thank you for following along, but also just show a bit of my work. So, most of you watching these videos probably already know that I have a website that you can go to, and you can find most of my things here. These tutorial videos will be on this site eventually as well. But some of the cool features on my site here is these cards you can click on. So for instance, I made a visualization tools based on some women's hockey data, and it's basically the same approach. Now, the difference here is that instead of looking up shots, we are looking at passes. But this tool is created in much the same way. So you can look up passes, or you can even change it to carries. So these are all puck carries by Alyssa. So there's plenty of tools like this on my website, and this is just built almost the exact same way as the Shot Viz tool we just created. So that's it. I will write articles from time to time here as well. So make sure to check out my website and also check out my Twitter handle, Hockeyskytte. I'll put in things here regularly as well. And finally, if you really enjoyed these tutorial videos, you should definitely go buy my book, and you can find it in the link below the video. So this book is about hockey statistics. It's an introduction to the more advanced hockey statistics, and I think it's relatively easy to digest while also giving a lot of information. So you should buy it if you're into hockey statistics, and you should buy it if you want to support my work. It's just $5. So yeah, I think that will be it for this tutorial. So yeah, goodbye.